All right. Yeah, that's a good angle. Fuck it. All right. Fuck, I need water. God. Get some water. Shit. Okay. Nobody? That don't matter. We're here to fucking do art. That's what I'm gonna do. Alright. Probably should have worked within your means, as they say. Need some music. Or something. Okay. Come on. Yeah, that works for me. Oh. Oh. Maybe I should have put something. Is that an 8-bit version? It's the theme from Zombie. I just put on some 8-bit horror music. I figured that would be like the most suitable thing that wouldn't get me hit with copyright. I mean, it probably still will, but do I spray paint? No, I haven't tried anything with spray paint yet. I mainly do collage art, but I've been getting into painting a little bit here and there, doing some kind of acrylic pouring every once in a while, but you know, I found this old painting in the basement and painted over it after doing some research and finding out it was a cheap print in a nice frame. So I painted over that, and now I'm actually painting the frame itself. Trying to do some splatter paint on it. Yeah, that's kind of what I was going for, with at least the first layer of red on it. Kind of a blood splat effect, but now I'm getting into the other colors I want to kind of throw on there. I just had an idea. Wait, how the fuck does this chair go? Oh, like that. I'm an idiot. Let me see. Well, actually, this one's probably a little too tall for what I need to do. Okay, this one is a bit better. Just gotta. Yeah, that's better. The fuck is playing? There we go. Does my job have me off a while? No, I'm an essential worker. This is tomorrow the next day are my days off. First days off in a little bit. It's it sucks having to work through a fucking pandemic, but what are you gonna do? Also, it's just good to have a paycheck, especially times like these. well, not really a shade of purple I was going for. Just some white. Ever use Shudder? Also, hello. Uh, Shudder's alright. It's one of those streaming services I think is like, I mean, it's only like $5 a month, so it ain't too bad. But, you know, people are like, oh, well, they have the originals, you know, they got like, what do they have on there? They got Joe Bob's Last Drive-In, which is cool and everything, but if I'm being completely honest, I did not know who Joe Bob Briggs was until at least a couple years ago. It wasn't really something I watched growing up. I mean, hell, when I grew up, the show wasn't even fucking on anymore. But, you know, they have Mandy on there, and that's cool. And I know they have, like, all the cannibal films on there, or at least the big Italian cannibal films on there, and that's cool and everything. But as somebody who's already seen those movies, who already owns a few of them on Blu-ray, it's, you know, it's a good service if you're somebody who wants to get into the genre, because they have a lot of good films in there. They got a lot of classics on there, but they aren't the lead. Like, they aren't the best when it comes to the horror selection. Honestly, I think Amazon Prime streaming has a better selection of horror films. Yeah, the app, the cell phone app is actually really bad. And the thing is, like, I would honestly subscribe for, like, their exclusives and the Creep Show series that they have going on and everything. I'd subscribe for that stuff if it wasn't for the fact that they don't have a streaming app on the PlayStation Store yet. So, for somebody like me who sits, you know, who uses a PlayStation console as their main source of entertainment, I don't even watch cable. I watch everything on my PlayStation, everything on YouTube and Tubi and Netflix and everything else. I watch it on my PlayStation. And they don't have an app on there. You used to be able to watch their stuff on the streaming service Verve, but Verve dropped them, or I think their contract with Verve ended, which sucks because I subscribe to Verve mainly for Crunchyroll and for like the 90s Nick shows, like those shows are on there. And that's shit that I can get into and watch casually. And that stuff's cool and everything, but, you know, I'd like to watch new things if I have a streaming service available to me. Um, so, you know, when they removed Shudder off of there, I was like, oh, well, I guess I'm ending my subscription. Me. Yeah, no, honestly, if I found out, I mean, as much as I'm not a fan of Jeff Bezos as a human being, if I found out he grew up on, like, sleazy horror flicks, I wouldn't be surprised, honestly. Because, you know, he seems like a fucking American Psycho type, both in taste in film and personality. But still, it's just, you know, they got a lot of good stuff on Amazon Prime. The As for the thing about the VHS format, it's a great format, and I do own quite a few movies on VHS. You know, I'm not a complete purist, but I do really appreciate the aesthetics of the format and the format itself. It was a very important format to the history of home media and the history of horror films. I mean, hell, you know, one of the first horror films I remember watching all the way through, um, or maybe not all the way through, but I remember watching part of when I was very, very young. I might have been like 5 years old, maybe. Was the beginning segment of Idle Hands on VHS, the late '90s horror stoner comedy film where the guy's hand gets possessed by the devil and he kills his parents. That beginning segment with the writing on the ceiling and everything, that stuff really, really scared me as a kid. Also, I think got it on VHS. Hell yeah, man. Also, I think the episode of Tales from the Crypt and All Through the House, that was an early one for me. I forget if my mom had that on VHS or not. I do remember watching it when I was young and being afraid of Santa Claus for a very long time after that, which I think is completely understandable considering the content of the episode and my age when I saw it. The title of this track, let me see here. Uh, Wait one fucking second. Let me. It seems to be the in-game theme from Fight Night on the Amiga by David Whittaker. I didn't even know Fright Night had a fucking game on the Amiga, but that's not surprising. I just put on a random playlist because I saw it had the music from Sweet Home on it, and Sweet Home has some really great kind of ambient 8-bit tracks. I mean, that game was, you know, on the NES, so it makes sense, but still. I just kind of threw some crap on because I figured it's a good way to get some music going in here in case it's too quiet and just in case, you know, I actually archive this stream, I won't have to deal with any copyright, hopefully, not have to deal with any copyright issues. Because I remember one time I was doing a stream, I had to delete it, and I was watching like Phantom of the Paradise or something, and the microphone picked up the audio from the film, and Fox completely blocked it like everywhere because they thought I was like showing clips from the film or showing the entire film. So, you know, there's that. Have you ever watched Vanilla Sky? I have not watched Vanilla Sky. The original film of it, I think it's called Open Your Eyes, is on my watch list. Although I have had like the major reveal of the film spoiled for me, I still want to watch it because I've heard it's really good. And honestly, that ain't gonna, you know, having major like things of a film spoiled for me isn't something that's gonna ruin. Well, I mean, it might ruin a film for me, but it isn't gonna stop me from seeking it out. You know, like I'm mad that it was spoiled, but I'm not like, you know, absolutely heartbroken about it. I'm like, whatever. This is just how it is. Actually, shit, while I'm out here, because I was mainly out here to do some splatter painting on this frame, but this frame is like pretty much done. But I still haven't finished my second beer, so I'm gonna get some canvas out. I have no idea what it's about, but I loved it. I've heard very great things about the original film, as well as the U.S. remake Vanilla Sky. I haven't heard anything explicitly negative about it, so, you know, I'm willing to give it a watch. Ugh. Grab my supplies from the other side of the room. Ah, fuck it. I'll just do the stuff from in here. Did I get Doom Eternal? Yes, I did. I already beat Doom Eternal. I love that shit. It was great. I also got Resident Evil 3 and beat it already. Which I beat Resident Evil 3 in like the course of a day. Well, the game is only like 5 hours long, so it took a couple days of playing like a few hours a day, but still. And I also recently beat a game called Pathologic 2, which is probably my favorite video game of all time now. It's a great, you know, social experiment because the game was actually originally created in it's a remake of a game from Russia from like 2005 that is basically a social experiment. I don't have an Xbox, unfortunately. Um, I'm mainly on the PS4, uh, but you know, it's neither here nor there. I might have to get some more water. Oh, maybe I'll add you. I don't know. I'm not too keen about, just accepting requests from people, mainly because, like, I just kind of keep to myself a lot when it comes to playing video games. I don't do much other than maybe play an occasional game of, like, Terraria with some friends. Oh, I got you. Hey. Has a film ever traumatized me? Quite a few. Um, hell, I was actually just thinking about this today. There's a film I saw when I was, before I got into high school, actually, called, film from the 70s called Johnny Got His Gun, which is, based on a novel that I read a few years ago. And the novel is even worse. But the film is one of my favorites. It's very depressing. It's an anti-war film about a World War I soldier who is hit with an artillery shell, and it leaves him deaf, blind, dumb, and without all four of his limbs. And he's basically trapped inside his own body, unable to communicate or see with the outside world or see what is going on around him. And it's a very depressing movie, very depressing read. The movie, the film, the book especially is something that really, really like ruined my entire week when I finally finished the book. Jeez, Airbud traumatized me. Oh God, I saw Airbud. I can't even remember how long ago it's been since I've seen that one. Fuck it, I'm just gonna do this whole canvas red. I don't even know what I'm doing. I'm just kind of fucking doing it. Any director I personally hate. Uh, as far as directors I hate go, um, and someone might be a little mad to hear this, but I really don't like Sam Peckinpah. Um, Probably most famous for directing The Wild Bunch, which is the only movie from him I like. Um, the only other film I've seen from him is Straw Dogs, which is a film that I really, really do not like. And I actually hate that movie so much so that I've completely put off watching any other Peckinpah films because it's just left such a bad taste in my mouth. Also, the guy who directed Devil and the Poughkeepsie tapes is another one that I have a real distaste for. He's only been able to entertain or intrigue me 2 times, and that is with a film he did with Owen Wilson. I cannot remember the title of it. I think it was called like No Escape or something like that. And a film he did called As Above, So Below, which is like one of his more well-known films. And that film is all right. It's very, very watchable. It's not necessarily something I like or necessarily like really, really enjoy, but it's a film I do appreciate aspects of, and I was entertained by it. But he's one I do not like particularly. Uh, Lucifer Valentine is another one that I've seen pretty much that man's entire filmography, and other than one movie, his output has been entirely fucking bad. And the only reason that one movie was good was because it's a documentary, well, a pseudo documentary. And to pick. I prefer House on Straw Hill. House on Straw Hill is a lot more interesting. It's got Udo Kier, who, if Udo Kier is in a movie, I automatically like it a little more, even if it is absolute garbage. Uh, and I think just to top it off entirely, like, at least, you know, the House on Straw Hill doesn't, like, attempt to uh, eroticize rape by making the woman who gets raped, at least writing her character as a complete nymphomaniac. Like, that character is sexually promiscuous, but she's not a nymphomaniac. But she's not like a crazed nymphomaniac who's trying to, get dick whenever she can. She's very obviously manipulating people. And, but with Straw Dogs, the wife character is written to be literally the personification of she was asking for it, which is really horrific. Actors I dislike because they're bad people in real life. I can't name any off the top of my head, but one that kind of disheartens me to have to say I dislike is probably Leonardo DiCaprio. Like he's a great actor, but he's his current girlfriend. He knew when she was like I think like 15. He's known her since she was 15. So that's a little too creepy for my taste. It's a little too far on the kind of pedophilia scale for me personally. Um, to be fair, if you're on the pedophilia scale at all, you might be a little too far gone for me personally. I'm trying to think of any other actors I don't necessarily like because they're bad people. I can see that, yeah. Um, Not necessarily because they're a bad person, but because I had a bad experience with them. Is Tom Savini? I mean, he's mostly known for his effects work, but he's done acting too. Tom Savini has kind of completely uh, ruined any kind of like enjoyment I get out of his performance or his presence in film is completely ruined for me by the fact that he was an asshole when I met him at a convention. Oh, fucking Jack Nicholson. Yeah, no, Jack Nicholson in The Shining is a great example of that. I also think um, another really great example of that is what's that one fucking guy? Dennis Hopper in uh, fucking Blue Velvet. That man was a great actor, but he was absolutely off his rocker. Um, but he's amazing in Blue Velvet. I actually just recently finished reading. I actually just finished reading David Lynch's autobiography, um, and it's a really interesting read. And you get some of the behind the scenes stuff about Blue Velvet and how they apparently filmed a lot of the like crazier scenes fucking with Dennis Hopper like first, like those were the first things they shot for the film, which I completely believe that because that man is fucking insane. Um, I mean, he did have a really bad drug problem, so I guess you can't blame him too much. But still, he was crazy. Um, I think sometimes Nick Cage it might be crazy in real life because some of the stuff he says in interviews is just like so ridiculous. It's kind of hilarious. And I mean, if you've seen him in fucking Vampire's Kiss or Mandy or Face Off, like he is absolutely off the wall in those movies. Oh yeah, Jim Carrey. Yeah, no, he's an actor that I really like. Not just for his comedic roles, like he's great in comedic roles, but like, the Truman Show is like one of the best movies ever made in my opinion, and his performance in that movie I think is just fucking perfect in almost every way. There's actually a mental illness, or I guess a form of mental illness uh, that's named after the Truman Show, where somebody believes that their life is being watched like it's a reality show, and it's called the Truman Syndrome. Oh, not bad. fuck does the color wheel go again? I feel like an idiot. Am I really gonna have to look up the fucking color wheel in order? I guess I'm gonna look up the fucking color wheel. C O L O R W H E. Okay, so oh yeah, crank this one up. Me fucking. Let me fucking put this on pause just for a minute here. Are you able to watch 3 to 4 hour films? Will I review head cheese? It depends on what head cheese you are talking about. If it's the Henrik Kuto film head cheese, I've already seen it, so I can't review it. As for the 3 to 4 hour films in one sitting, I can do it. I do need to take like definitely bathroom breaks or break to get a drink or something. If it's a particularly depressing movie, then it's gonna take a lot out of me, and I will probably need to take like a 20-minute break. Do I like Has-Been Hotel? No, I do not. Not in the slightest. I like the concept. And the Radio Demon in Has-Been Hotel is cool. But that pilot, I just couldn't do it. It was kind of painful. The short film head cheese. I'll have to look into that one. I don't think I've heard of it. Unless, I think that's on Amazon Prime, maybe. I do not know for sure. Okay, so I guess I gotta fucking... It is on there. I think I've seen that one around on Prime. I won't make any promises. I'm not reviewing things right now because stuff is really rough in my personal life, and I'm just... Literally, the only reason I'm streaming is because I'm doing art because I'm depressed, and I figured I may as well try and make some content out of it. Because I did say to somebody that I would do another drinking live stream, and this ain't exactly one of my drinking live streams, but, I mean, it says in the title, I'm doing art and I'm drinking, and that is very true, although, I don't know, I haven't finished my second beer yet. Filmed on the same locations as the Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake. Oh, that's kind of cool. I might give it a watch. I don't review short films super often, mainly because sometimes there just isn't enough there. But, maybe I'll review it. I don't want to make promises to anybody because I've already gotten a screener copy of one movie from a director in the last week, and I told, like 2 weeks ago I got this from him, and I said, yeah, I'll review this like next week, and that was 2 weeks ago, and it's not like he put me on a time crunch or anything. I just don't want to disappoint the guy by reviewing his movie when I really do not have the fucking energy to, and just seeming really sarcastic about it. Okay, once I'm done with this canvas, I'm on to my last one, and then I'll do that last one, and then I'm done, and this is over. Feel like dying myself, and I'm out of booze. Yeah, I get that, man. I get that big time. That's why I'm out here in the garage doing art instead of just sitting alone in my bedroom doing nothing but, listening to fucking Franz Kafka's The Trial, because that's all I have. That's all I have left to listen to in terms of audiobooks, and that one's kind of depressing. Gestapo's Last Orgy or Love Camp 7. I haven't seen Love Camp 7 yet. I do actually unironically like Gestapo's Last Orgy. It's like the film. What's that one? It's on Criterion Collection. The Night Porter. It's like that movie, but where the Night Porter tried to like be an artful, erotic drama. Gestapo's Last Orgy knows that it's a Nazi exploitation film and knows that it is a disturbing, disgusting piece of cinema. So it doesn't act like it's above other films because of it. Not that Night Porter acts like it's above other films, but it tries to be artful, and that's the thing. Is the beer good? I mean, I'm not a big beer guy, but Blue Moon is my brand. I drink. You know, not everybody likes Blue Moon, but I like it. It's actually the last beer I have out here. So I'm gonna have to go grab another one. But first, I gotta sign this piece of art. That purple. Somebody's outside. Which battery life do I have left on this? 20%? Yeah, I can probably finish this last one up in that time. Film that we wouldn't be able to remake. Probably any Jodorowsky film. Jodorowsky is a director that I think cannot be replicated by anybody. The day that Alejandro Jodorowsky dies is going to be a sad day because that man is like 92, just turned 92. He's still making movies. Still smoking pot every day. I think he's still doing LSD occasionally. Like, that man is a fucking legend. And his movies are so unique, not just in their style necessarily, or in their sets, or their production design, just in their entirety. Like, you can show me one frame from every film ever made, And I will be able to point out the ones directed by Jodorowsky because they look so unique. Yeah, exactly. Like The Holy Mountain. I mean, but would anybody want to remake The Holy Mountain? Probably not. It's a weird fucking movie. But if it does happen, it'll, I mean, it won't be good. I need to grab another fucking drink. I have an idea. Yeah, that works. If I'm gonna be an artist, I'm gonna drink an artist's drink. I don't have any ice, so this is probably gonna get ruined. But you know what? Fuck it. Oh. I'm not the biggest fan of Rob Zombie, personally. His music's alright. Like, what was his one album? Electric Warlock Acid Witch Satanic Orgy Celebration Dispenser. Like, that was an alright album. Lords of Salem is an interesting movie visually. I really like House of a Thousand Corpses. I think that's like his good, one of his only good films. Devil's Rejects is okay, and Three from Hell is alright. His Halloween remakes are, you know, they're watchable in my opinion, but they're not good. In fact, I wouldn't say any of his movies are necessarily unwatchable other than, like 31. I think that's like the only movie from him that I've seen that I don't think I'll ever watch again under any circumstance. Oh, might have put a little too much Jim Beam in that, but fuck it. Yeah. 31, very similar to like Lords of Salem. It's a movie that I think visually is very interesting, but other than that, it doesn't have a lot going on. I almost put this fucking paintbrush in my fucking drink. Maybe I shouldn't have put it in the same kind of cup. Movie I was entertained or by or enjoyed, but probably will never watch. Um, you know, probably. Man, that's actually a tough one. Probably the most recent Todd Phillips film, Flowers 2. It was good. I liked it, but I don't think I'll ever watch it again. It's just not that interesting. Um, Also because like there was some stuff going on behind the scenes that was kind of messed up with the director uh, kind of scamming women out of roles in the film. Um, and then when they complained about it, he, blocked them on Facebook and claimed that they were just crazy, delusional fans. Um, which is a shame when stuff like that happens because it makes like everybody in the independent industry look bad. Again, I almost put my fucking paintbrush in my drink. Oh, yeah, that needs ice. Most underrated film that anybody talks about. That nobody talks about. Ooh, that's a hard one because, like, out of everything I've seen, there's always somebody, or at least a few people who are willing to talk about, or who talk about or have seen, or talk about certain movies. But if I had to say, probably anything from Andy Milligan. He's a very underrated director, in my opinion. I mean, he's not necessarily a good director, but he's underrated. He's interesting. Um, and, you know, if anybody talks about his movies, it's always in a very negative light. And, you know, it doesn't sit well with me. Classic. Nah, I mean, Milligan is fucking classic in my opinion. Like, when it comes to, you know, like, interesting gutter auteur filmmakers, you know, um, it's people like, uh, Herschel Gordon Lewis, John Waters, who are probably two of the most, you know, well-known ones out of the ones I'm listing. Um, Andy Milligan and Al Adamson and Ted V. Michaels. You know, nobody ever gives any of those guys, especially Adamson, Michaels, Milligan, um, any respect in terms of like, hey, their films were actually not too bad when you look at them from this perspective. Ah, God damn it. What is the worst movie you have ever watched? Um, Definite answer, probably Slaughtered Vomit Dolls from Lucifer Valentine. I cannot say enough negative things about that man. Um, you know, I'm not one who wishes death on people, you know, at least not often. But Lucifer Valentine is one person that, like, if he died, I would sleep well at night. And I say that in all seriousness, all honesty. Any sleazy, gory Frankenstein films, erotic Flesh for Frankenstein, and erotic Rites of Frankenstein. Um, you know, to be completely fair, Flesh for Frankenstein is like my favorite Frankenstein movie. Erotic Rites of Frankenstein is interesting. It's definitely one of Joe D'Amato's more interesting movies. Um, Shit, I can't really think of anything completely definite. Um, Frankenhooker is one that I will always recommend to people because it's a classic fucking Frank Henenlotter movie. But it's not necessarily a gory movie. It's definitely a bit sleazy. But you know that one doesn't isn't really crazy on the gore. It's that one's a lot more comedic. Uh, Trying to think. I know that there's like one that I've seen. Um, Monstrosity. Andy Milligan's Monstrosity is one that is a combination of Frankenstein and Gollum horror. That is very weird and gory and sleazy. Uh, like one of the first scenes is a woman being gutted alive. Like it's really crazy. And then you have a fucking orange afroed, bug-eyed Frankenstein monster Gollum with the arm of a gorilla killing gang members. Also, what else was he doing? I think it was like falling in love and having an obsession with a teddy bear. Falling in love with a hooker, and he had like an obsession with a teddy bear, and his guardian angel showed up to him as like a fucking plane, uh, as a pilot. Have I seen Shrunken Heads? I have seen Shrunken Heads. It's directed by Richard Elfman, the brother of Danny Elfman, and Danny Elfman was in the band Oingo Boingo, and he's also like a film composer. But Richard Elfman, his brother, did a film in the early '80s called Forbidden Zone. That's a really cool kind of fantasy, low budget Three Stooges, Marx Brothers, and Fleischer era animation inspired kind of absurdist comedy musical. It's really interesting. Surgikill is a movie that I really liked. It's very out of character for Milligan because usually, he did even into the '80s. He did movies that were not even necessarily comedies. Like, you know, the only film from him that I've seen from him that was a comedy, other than Monstrosity, other than fuck, other than Surgikill is Monstrosity. Surgikill is interesting because it feels like um, a film that wasn't made by Milligan, that like he either came in to shoot some extra scenes for, or he did for a paycheck, because that movie is extremely cheap. It's very stupid, like, bad screwball comedy that doubles as like Tim and Eric style anti-humor. It's really fun. And the like main theme to it is like a ripoff of John Carpenter's theme for Halloween. And there's some really great moments. One of the best moments in the movie, actually, is a scene where over the PA in the hospital you hear a nurse and orderly say, "Dr. Mike Hunt to gynecology, please," and it's just like, oh wow, that's so fucking stupid. And that's a joke you would never expect to hear in a movie by Milligan, but it's in there. I almost believe he didn't direct that movie, but his name is on it, so that says something. I hope that movie is included in the box set that Severin is doing of his work, because I'd love to see it. I'd love to see a restoration of it. Even if it is a garbage movie, I would still love to see it done. But that's going to have to wrap it up for this art stream. I might do another one of these sometime, because I do like to come out in here in the garage and every once in a while and just put on an audiobook or some music and just paint, or, do something. Hell, last, like, Tuesday, around midnight, I was in here scrubbing this frame. Yeah, the Mike Hunt joke was in Porky's, actually, yeah. That's where I first heard that one, actually. Um, but, like, the last time I was in this garage, I was literally scrubbing down this frame with bleach, because this thing was bright yellow. Up until, I scrubbed it down with bleach for, like, 3 hours. But, this was what I mainly came out here to do, was to kind of do some splatter painting on the frame, and I did a bit of extra, canvas pieces, because kill me, literally, as it says right there. But I'm going to have to put these somewhere. But I'm going to cut this off now, so that way I can get all this crap picked up. Anyway, guys, this is Biscuit Horror Reviews, signing off. Peace. Me.